Hey guys, Ben here from Themeco, and I'm going to close this series on section dividers by showing you how to create complex and beautiful section dividers using SVG. I have two examples right here that we will be working on in this video. The first one is this section divider, and the second one is this wave section divider. Now, both these two have been created using SVG. I won't go into detail explaining what an SVG is, but in simple terms, it is an image file format similar to JPEGs and PNGs. The difference is that in terms of file size, it is smaller compared to those two, and if you edit and blow up or increase the dimensions of an SVG image even up to 100% its original dimensions, it doesn't get pixelated. It retains the quality of the original image. But what I'm really particularly interested in with SVGs for the purpose of this video is that it is made up of XML codes. And let me show you what I mean. This is a JPEG image that I have opened on a web browser. And by clicking on, right-clicking the screen and inspecting the element, you can see that there is this image tag, HTML tag, and the other necessary HTML code is generated by the browser. But if you open an SVG image, you can know that it is SVG because there's a .svg, and you inspect the element to show the codes, you will not see HTML elements, rather XML codes right here. Now, this is interesting to me because if I copy the entire code and paste it to a content area element on the builder, let me just do that and paste it here, you get the exact same image just by doing that. Now, let's make this full width by removing all spacing in the section, and there you have it, is full width. Now, another thing that you can do right here that you cannot do in PNGs and JPEGs is you can change the color of the image. Right now it's black by default, but we can change it to something else. Now let me show you how to do it. Go to Customize, Element CSS, and we will target the SVG tag right here. Then SVG tags have a fill property that we can set a color there. So let's say I want to make it green, it becomes green. If I want to make it red, it becomes red. If I want to make it purple, it becomes purple. And now the application of this is going to be manifest in a little while. Before we get started, I'd like to point out that you have the option to either create your own SVG images or look for ones available online. If you wish to do it yourself, then you can just use your editing software like Photoshop and export the image that you created as SVG. This is what I did exactly for this image. I created it in Photoshop and exported it as an SVG. Now, for this example, however, for the Christmas trees right here and the wave, I used the works of some generous people online. I just searched row separator SVG in Google, and I'm glad to have found this gallery right here and this also. So this is what we're going to do. We will recreate this divider first by deleting the entire section so that you'll know what to do from scratch. So let's get started with that. The first thing to do, first of all, is to add a section. So I'm putting it just below the first section, and it's here. And I'm going to select one column, then add a content area element, drag it there, remove the spacing, and there it is. Then go to the gallery. This one is from CodePen. We can share the links to this, by the way. And locate the SVG, and it's here. Now I can just copy it from the HTML panel here, but I find it quite difficult as compared to directly getting it using the inspect element in Chrome. So here it is. I need to copy the SVG, the root SVG right here. Copy, then paste to the content area, and there it is. Okay, that just like that. Now we want to change the background color of the section right here to be the same as this. So I'm going to copy the color, and no, actually I have already set that color. I don't need to copy, but anyway, just set the background color, and there you go. It is now seamless, as though they are in just one section when in fact there are two of them. Now let us work on the second section divider, and that is this wave divider. Now just like earlier, we will delete the entire section and add it back again, and we're doing this to just have mastery over the topic and the process. So I will add it here, choose one column rather, remove all spacing, then add in the content area element. Now I'm using a different website for the wave divider, and we will be giving you links to both websites for easy reference. Then I'm going to copy the SVG code, then paste it right here, and it's here. Now if you remember earlier, we changed the color of this by using the fill property, and we'll do the same thing. First things first, we will need to copy the code for the color and go to customize, type in EL SVG fill, then put in the color, and now it's the same color. Then there is this small space. We can easily fix that by using a negative bottom margin, and 9px is negative 9px is quite great, and now it is seamless. Now I will be ending this video by taking into consideration how this dividers would look like on a mobile version. Now let's see what this Christmas tree separator looks like on a mobile. It's here. It has gotten smaller, and it kept the same proportion that it had on the desktop. Now that will be okay. If you're already satisfied with it, then you can keep it as is. But for the sake of argument, I want to zoom in on this. That means I want to increase the size when it reaches a mobile view. And whatever the solution I'll be using for this is the same for the solution for this separator. So I won't be tackling this one. Instead, I will just focus on this first separator. So the way to increase the size only on a 488 pixel below screen size is to use Element CSS. Now go to Customize, Element CSS, then again, let's make sure that we have clicked this. I was quite unsure. Okay, so now we will use media queries, and we will be targeting 480 pixels and below. Then this refers to the current content area, then SVG being a child of that content area. Now to zoom in, we need to set the width to 200 pixels. Now it really doesn't matter what value you put here. You can use 300 or even 400 if that is what you like. But for me, 200 is just enough to show that we have already zoomed in. And you can leave it as is. But I want to center the arc or the curve. And just quite randomly, I have determined that adding a negative 35 pixels would help me achieve that. So there it is, my friends. That is how you can use SVGs to create beautiful and complex section separators.